Welcome. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about should I borrow money from my business to invest in it, and how much should I borrow and when. Many new guys get into the businesses and want to buy their way from it, so they borrow a lot of money and put it into what they think is the right investment before they actually start the business. I did this with one of my first businesses. I bought a big expensive computer and stuff. I took a loan of like $2,000. I don't know exactly, like $2,000, and 1,800 was a computer, and then some advertising or something. Huge waste of money. I would have been better off taking $1,000 and investing it and paying someone who's been in the business before me help me for the first couple of weeks, help me for the first couple of months, give me advice on what prices to charge and things like that. I would have been so much better off. Saved myself a lot of trouble. But I have made some really good investments, and I want to share with you. So this is it's based on the tree care business. It's based on an offline business. It's just an example of my own. So what I want to talk about is when you first start up, you don't have all your gear to go into work, and that'll hold you back. You can't borrow gear. You can, different situations you can borrow gear, but then you're not going to have it the days you need it, and so on. And what happens if it breaks? And so the way I started is I had an old used chainsaw with no exhaust, not even worth $10, and I used that. That's how I started. So I did do it that way. I was in a tough financial situation, and not everyone starts a business like that. If you do, it's pretty tough. And you learn a lot quickly, but you do learn quickly. There's many guys that sit for 20 years doing the same thing because it's safe. Or someone else can come in and do the same thing in 5 years because they take chances and dare to risk it. So go after your dreams. All right. So the first thing I do if I was starting business again in the tree care industry, like gardening, right? That kind of stuff, is I'd have a good reliable vehicle, as cheap as possible, of course, to start with. I'd buy my climbing gear, and I'd buy a small chainsaw that you could put a bar on it that's big enough to cut big trees as well. And I'd buy a small trailer, just a small one, small, cheap. I'd do that. It cost what? I have no idea with money in that. It's like, let's say $4,000. That's a good budget to start off. It depends where you are in the world. You got to see what works for you and your business and your goals. Because now if I were to start again, I wouldn't go out and invest in all the machinery and stuff that I did when I did start. I thought then that I need to have everything to be able to provide a full service for everyone, or actually for the target market that I had, because I'd learned a little bit about that before then. I invested in a machine that I shouldn't have because I thought that I'd do stuff that I didn't do. And over time I learnt what worked for me, and I learnt what I enjoyed, and I did more of that. So a year ago, I think it was, I invested in a wood chipper for about $60,000. A lot of money, brand new wood chipper. I invested in that because it was costing me double the payment, the amount I pay on it per month, or paid per month. I used to pay double that renting one, and the one I rented wasn't as good. It didn't fit in the right place, and I couldn't get it when I needed it always. And it really cost a fortune to rent it. So I bought one, and that turned out fantastic for me because I used it so much. And having it meant that I had some positioning that I could use to raise my prices. So in raising my prices and getting a new machine, we'll talk about that another time. That's the secret thing. That's the thing I want to really teach you guys in secret about, in a way. I want to keep it close to my heart to give you value, how to raise your prices. So this machine, it gave me a lot of revenue, a lot of profit. I earned a lot of money from it. Really, it really made a difference. It made its first payment on the first day or two of the month. But if you're going to invest in things like that, marketing and sales are the oxygen of your company. You will not breathe without them. So you need to have the jobs coming in. You need to have continuous jobs. Then you have to be good at marketing. There's a lot in all of this, right? There's a lot of small areas. So I would say it depends. How much you borrow depends on how good you are at getting new jobs in or selling them. If you're not good at it, you're going to need to sit back and spend a bit of time doing things the hard way and learning what like, you know, take things like this as advice from other people, but you're going to need to learn yourself what works for you, how you get through to your people. And once you've done that, then you can give it. Like, what you got to do, it's like lighting a fire. You got to prepare. You got to get your fire basically there, and then you light it, and then you got to give it some focus in that. And then when it's warm, when it's going properly, then you can put all the wood on, and it takes off like bushfire, right? That's one way of explaining it. Many people say that this is a kind of another thing in together with borrowing money. Many people say that word of mouth and a Facebook page is enough to get you customers. If it gets you customers, that's okay, then you're good. Why change it? It's not broken. No, that's wrong. You got to be as many possible places as you can be to get in front of the people that you're going to make a difference to their life. If they got a dead tree that's hanging over their roof, you want to make sure they can find you when they need you. You got to be everywhere. A word of mouth and a Facebook page doesn't do it anymore. Once upon a time, people used to use yellow pages. They used to put an ad in yellow pages, and that's how they got their customers. When you do like that, you're doing no positioning. You're doing nothing to get you outside of everybody else. And that means that you're going to be competing on the same jobs as them for the same prices as them. The customer wants less always in that situation. So it's just going to be wild for you. So by having other branches to market to, then you can market in different ways to different people on those different platforms. You know, YouTube is good because then you can show your skill. You can show that you really know what you're doing. You have to use different things. It's not the 90s anymore. You know, every kid next door knows how to start a Facebook page, and he can do it way better than most of us can. You know, these people are brought up with it. I wasn't brought up with Facebook and all this, but we're around people that are now, and we have to learn from it. We have to adapt with it. If we don't adapt with it, we have to either stop this business and go and do something else, or teach someone or something, because the same old doesn't work anymore. It works less and less and less. You know, banner ads, they used to sit up. Nobody sees banner ads anymore. So what I'm trying to say is, yeah, if you're fantastic at word of mouth marketing, if you're fantastic at Facebook, go and do those. If that gets you customers, fantastic. You want more customers. You want better customers. It's something that's never ending. You have to focus on it. You have to get someone to do it if you don't do it. If you don't have time for it, if you don't enjoy it. If you're not growing, you're going backwards. Or you can't really sit in the middle. You're either going backwards or you're going forwards. I always am growing in the things I do and the business I run. I am always going for the top of the ladder. Um, Always. Because if I don't do that, I'm falling into bad routines and habits and going backwards. Um, this of should I borrow money? But anyway, should I borrow money and when? Yes, you borrow a little bit to get started. You pay it off. Then you use a bit of money to on the things, make sure everything's maintained and good. You find out what works. You have to find out what marketing and sales and what things work for you. You have to know how long things take. You have to know your hourly rate. You have to know when you're quoting. You have to know all of that before you start investing in big machinery or in things that cost a lot more. But as soon as you got that sorted, as soon as your book's solid for 2 months or something like that, then you got security. Then you can start changing things. Then you can be like, all right, I'm booked solid all year except for 1 month. I'll save up the money for that 1 month. That's okay. I'm going to go out and buy a big machine because this will triple my income or this will give me more hours in a day. My example, my wood chipper, saved me a whole day's cleanup and made it to be like half an hour. Seriously, that's how it works for me. And that meant amazing to me. It meant the 2 jobs a month paid for it. And if I had 15 jobs a month, like I have had when I had more staff and that, then it's a money maker. And that you'll see over time. That's not what I'm teaching you now. I'm just sharing my example here. And but you know, I see now that I've specialized in pruning of trees, so I don't really take enough off to need my wood chipper. I could pretty much throw it all on a trailer. And that's why I bought a good small trailer, but it could carry as much as possible in the beginning because I had that end in mind in that way. But now I only prune. So I use like these pruning poles and a handsaw and stuff that's affordable, and I've got a pruning ladder. So once you own all that, then it's just profit. That's how I've got my business set up now without having the big expensive machinery, because then I don't need to have as many jobs in. I don't need to worry. Like I need 2 jobs a week, two days work a week. And it's not that hard to find that. You know, I have been booked 100% solid before with people and staff and everything. So it's very easy for me it's chilling in a way now to have 2 days a week where I do that. But I am focusing, of course, all my time on you guys. So I'm running 2 businesses here. So I'm working the hours again, but I love it. And you can probably sense that. Have a great day out there. See you later.